There were plenty of highs and lows from Donald Trump's lengthy speech last night as he accepted the Republican presidential nomination. Take a listen to some of the highlights.
Nobody knows the system better than me, which is why I alone can fix it. My opponent asks her supporters to recite a 3-word loyalty pledge. It reads, "I'm with her." I choose to recite a different pledge. My pledge reads, "I'm with you, the American people."
I want to bring in Hank Sheinkopf right now, a Democratic strategist and former campaign advisor to Bill Clinton, and John Jordan, a Republican strategist. Good to see you both, gentlemen. Thanks so much for joining us.
Good morning.
John, let me kick it off with you. Your highlights from Trump's speech last night. What did you take away?
Well, Maria, Mr. Trump last night served notice on the left that the new Republican Party is going to compete for minority voters. Now, some might say this is a little good, certainly be a challenge for a Republican, but all he has to do is be 1 or 2 points better than Romney or McCain did, especially if the Democrats don't get the turnout among their core groups that they normally have. And Mr. Trump does have a certain appeal for that. All he has to do is do a much better job, and relative to Hillary Clinton, be just a little more charming, and he could win decisively, especially where he is with the white vote.
Yeah, there's also real outreach to the gay and lesbian community last night, no doubt about it. PayPal co-founder and tech billionaire Peter Thiel spoke last night. He made history at the RNC. Listen to this.
I'm not a politician, but neither is Donald Trump. He is a builder, and it's time to rebuild America. Of course, every American has a unique identity. I am proud to be gay. I am proud to be a Republican. But most of all, I am proud to be an American.
I thought that was stunning. I thought it was terrific. John, what did you think?
Well, I think it's the Republican Party moving beyond the platform.
Yeah.
You know, the Trump people truly kind of going beyond that. The platform is kind of an antiquated idea that was more relevant in elections past than it is today, because now it's kind of just been subsumed by the candidate.
Yeah, Hank Sheinkopf, weigh in here. Your big takeaways from last night.
Donald Trump finally looks like he's running for president as opposed to addressing a rally of some kind where who knows what the disparate elements are about. That's the good news. The Republican idea they can win a lot of minority votes, probably a delusion. It's something Republicans talk about an awful lot. But the real issue here is the kind of coalition that Donald Trump is putting together, very different than anything we've seen before. The attack on the elites, even discussions by campaign advisors of his about bringing back Glass-Steagall. That's an attempt to bring white, blue-collar people together with others, including gays, and coming up with a different kind of way of thinking about things, more integrative and less destructive.
What did you think of Peter Thiel?
I thought it was pretty stunning, and it frankly talks about this. What this indicates is the lack of dominance by the religious right in Republican Party politics, which probably will make some room for all kinds of other people.
And I was with Peter in the green room prior to his speech, and he was a little nervous. I'm going to be honest with you. And I said, listen, just speak from your heart. Tell people what's in your heart and what message you want to get out, because they're going to listen to you. The people in the crowd were very receptive. It is, I think, a different, as we've referenced, Morgan, many times, a different and wider tent, bigger tent Republican Party, and that's a good thing.
But Scott, and Donald Trump did that.
Yeah.
And it was the standing ovation that he got, too.
Yeah.
You saw the reaction from the crowd that, what he said really did resonate.
It was courageous.
John, I'm curious, in the past we saw if the religious right did not come out, this is Ted Cruz's argument this year, that the religious right did not come out 4 years ago, and that's why Mitt Romney lost. With our nominee talking about LGBTQ rights, his daughter talking about it, do you think that will suppress the religious right vote, or will Pence sort of make that up?
One of the things we saw in the primary this cycle is that the religious right, as we've understood it to be, didn't vote on the issues or for the candidates we all thought they would. Right. You look at how Ted Cruz really didn't do that well on them, but you have a thrice divorced media mogul who did really well with them. There was more votes for the Republican nominee this time than ever before. So I don't know that those rules still apply.
Wow.
Yeah, he referenced, Maria, that he's an American first.
Yeah.
You know, American first. That's the key, and that's what people are forgetting. And I think there's going to be a stark contrast between what happened here and what's going to happen in a couple of days in Philly.
Yeah, he said, I'm proud to be gay, I'm proud to be Republican, I'm proud to be an American. Hank, what were you saying?
What was I saying very simply? Everybody seems to have amnesia here. There's a whole history of attacks on gays, the religious right, of separation of blacks and Latins, the discussions about violence, about immigrants, are not going to provide this rosy picture that you all think is going to happen. But what is important here is that anyone who has any doubts that Donald Trump can win this election in the fall is just plain wrong. That's the overriding theme that comes through.
Let me ask you about Hillary's news today. Who will her VP be? She's going to probably announce it today. What's your take?
Look, Kaine seems to be in a much better positioning if you read the New York Times this morning. I think that's probably a big mistake. That it would be better to have somebody from the Midwest, not that who can compete with Pence, but who can feel much more like the places she needs to win and do better with, where there are white men who have been in the blue-collar workforce and who feel that their futures are kind of stunted.
What concerns you most about the Hillary ticket, Hank?
What concerns anybody most who thinks about this is Trump is creating a coalition that's going to be very hard to get around. He has 3 significant negatives against her. How do you find somebody running for vice president who can talk economics, military security, and say, by the way, you may not like a lot of things about her, but she's the one who can get the job done? It's a very difficult fit, and it's going to be very hard to get past these Trump arguments, which are very, very well done.
Because the trust issue is sticking. And one of the things.
It never left.
And with Tim Kaine,
yeah.
With Tim Kaine, the base was already going after him this week because he signed a letter to regulators wanting to loosen some of the restrictions on community banks and local banks. And the Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren left was going after him for that. So we might see an uprising if he's the VP.
It was even reported last week that there would be. That he was on a list of people that was unacceptable to a lot of the Bernie people, and they promised to make a little bit of a stink at the convention if he was nominated.
And you have the Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders left, Occupy Wall Street, MoveOn.org. Remember, Elizabeth Warren was the creator of the Occupy Wall Street movement. They're already camping out. They're ready to let their people know, i.e. Hillary Clinton, that they're angry because they feel that Bernie and Elizabeth Warren have sold out to Hillary Clinton, the Queen of Wall Street.
Nobody could do more damage than Ted Cruz did on national television to any party, frankly. The good news about the Republicans is they let all their lunatics up front first, and they've now gone away for a while. The Democrat lunatics will disappear because they understand the stakes.
Good analysis.
Oh, God. Hank Sheinkopf, you are so direct. I love it. Good to see you, sir. Hank Sheinkopf, John Jordan, thank you very much, gentlemen. We will see you soon.